first day of sprinting, my coach gave to me an awesome retrospective.
At regular intervals, the team reflects on how to become more effective, then tunes and adjusts its behavior accordingly. That sounds pretty simple, but in marketing, we are go, go, go all the time, right? So it's a little easier said than done. But this principle challenges us to actually pause, have those conversations about how we can keep improving. And I tell you, once you start doing that, you'll wonder how you ever made it through before.
On the second day of sprinting, my coach gave to me 2 self-organized teams.
There's no creative brief or project plan that guarantees awesome work every time. If you want to ensure that great stuff gets built, you need the people doing the work to come together on their own terms. That's what self-organization is all about, giving teams the opportunity to own the way that they work. For marketing, this is especially important because we often get turned into order takers. Lots of people want to tell us what to do and how to do it, but that approach strangles creativity and lowers the quality of work that we produce. So step back and let Agile marketers do our thing, because more value comes from teams that are free to self-organize.
On the third day of sprinting, my coach gave to me 3 great campaigns.
Agile is often associated with pure speed, so I love that this principle reminds us not to lose sight of the need to do excellent work, because doing a whole lot of substandard work really fast doesn't help anybody. And in the age of AI, I find this principle particularly relevant to me as a content marketer. Being fast is good, and generative AI can help us move more quickly. But speed isn't the only measure of success. Marketers of all kinds can't afford to sacrifice brand standards. So this principle helps us keep the balance between speed to market and overall quality of work. Bottom line, doing great work enhances agility, and it helps with brand and audience building too.
On the 4th day of sprinting, my coach gave to me 4 sustainable sprints.
Agile processes support sustainable development. All stakeholders, sponsors, and team members should be able to keep up their work at a sustainable pace indefinitely. We all want to get as much work done as quickly as we possibly can. As a service department, we're servicing a lot of different people in marketing. It can be sales, it can be internal campaigns, external campaigns, or strategic initiatives. And all of this can make it feel like we are running on a hamster wheel. Sometimes we have conflicting priorities too, or we don't have enough staff to actually complete the work that we need to get done. And when we have too much work in progress at one time, we're dividing our attention and our resources. We're spread really thin. And as a result, it can take even longer to complete a single thing. Keeping an honest and realistic workload helps to make teams more predictable on when and how they deliver. You can be more deliberate about your prioritization instead of just letting time determine what gets dropped or what gets completed. When you're burning the candle at both ends, eventually you're going to burn out. And when you burn out, people make mistakes, resulting in rework, or things get dropped entirely, or ultimately people can leave the organization. We want to make space to make sure that our energy is being funneled into the appropriate place, the appropriate project at the right time, instead of running our teams into the ground.
On the 5th day of sprinting, my coach gave to me simplicity.
Simplicity. In Agile, we talk about this as maximizing the amount of work not done. I know the idea of not doing work may be scary, but I challenge you to take a look at everything you're doing and ask yourself, how can I simplify this? It could be taking a look at your processes, the elements that you're planning in your campaigns, or even your goals for the quarter. We oftentimes find ourselves doing more than we need to because we think things have to be perfect, or that we have to have a lot of things to show just to prove we're adding value. What we really need to do is take a look and ask ourselves, is what I'm doing actually providing value to the customer? If the customer doesn't need it or see value in it, then don't do it, even if it's something you've always done. Once you start looking at everything through this lens, simplifying your work, you will be able to start carving out more time for those things that truly can provide value.
On the 6th day of sprinting, my coach gave to me 6 working deliverables.
The primary measure of progress for an Agile team is delivering something that works and that adds value. In other words, Being busy isn't nearly as important as what you get done. It's not hard to fill a 40-hour work week. Most of us could look busy for 8 hours a day without much effort. But this principle is important because it reminds us that activity isn't a useful way to measure a team's success. What really matters is how much value we're producing for our customers and for the business. This is especially important for marketing because there are tons of ways we could spend our time that keeps us occupied but don't move the needle. Readjusting the font size on an ad for the 20th time probably isn't as useful as just putting it out there and learning from its performance. Don't be busy, be valuable.
On the 7th day of sprinting, my coach gave to me 7 conversations.
The most effective and efficient method for relaying information is face-to-face conversation. That is one of my absolute favorite Agile principles from the manifesto because it's all about communication. I truly believe that the most impactful work is probably the result of the people involved having the right conversations at the right points in time. And the reason that I think this Agile principle focuses so much on the face-to-face aspect of it all is because that's when conversations are really at their most efficient. Think about the alternative. A 100-page email thread that goes on, or Slack messages that ping back and forth. It's really hard to get to the heart of the matter that way and arrive at a good decision. A lot gets lost in translation, and body language is not to be underestimated. So, if you're able to hop on a call with camera or get in the same room as your collaborators, I think you're in a much better position to solve that hairy, thorny problem much more quickly and probably more effectively as well.
On the 8th day of sprinting, my coach gave to me 8 supported teams.
Build projects around motivated individuals who've been given the environment and support they need. Then, trust them to get the job done. Micromanaging people is wasteful, it's demotivating, and it usually prevents them from reaching their full potential. That's why Agile marketing starts with motivated team members. But that's easier said than done, which is why it's so important to create the kind of environment that encourages that motivation. Because when you feel like you have the tools and, importantly, the trust to go out and find the best solutions to your marketing problems, the results are transformative. Instead of doing the bare minimum or just waiting to be told what to do next, you end up with marketers who really use their knowledge and skills to go out there and test new ideas for campaigns, flag processes that can be improved, all the while feeling better about themselves as marketers.
On the 9th day of sprinting, my coach gave to me 9 collaborations.
Collaboration requires folks on the business side and folks on the execution side to collaborate together on a daily basis throughout the project. In other words, we want to make sure that we're bringing the right people to the right work at the right time. Involving different points of view from the beginning can help ensure a well-rounded project. In marketing, this is even more important. Oftentimes, we start a campaign or a project on our own, but down the line, maybe we need to punt to IT. Or maybe we need to loop in PR or run things by compliance before we can launch. Let's get all of those dependencies out in the open. Let's discuss progress and blockers on a daily basis so we can swarm together to problem solve. If we can get that understanding from the start what needs to be done, people can better plan their own portion of the project and understand how it fits into everything else holistically. Keeping tight communication and collaboration is really an insurance policy to make sure that we are launching the best project in the most efficient way.
On the 10th day of sprinting, my coach gave to me 10 frequent deliveries.
Delivering outcomes for customers frequently is another Agile principle that marketers can benefit from. In many companies, product, service, and campaign development can take several months or even years to launch into the world. As a result, organizations miss out on opportunities to get their offering into customers' hands and miss the opportunity to bring value and satisfaction to them as well as gain competitive advantage. By taking short-term development cycles of smaller portions of your campaign, product, or service, That means less time drafting and tweaking and more time learning. Because delivering frequently is the only way to ensure that what you did is making sense and working as needed or as expected. Think about it. Which would you prefer? Figuring something is not as expected at the end of the year, or knowing that at the end of 2 weeks? So not only that, by delivering outcomes for customers frequently, you're gaining more frequent customer feedback, faster time to market, predictability, visibility, and return on investment. Keep this in mind. Have grace with yourself and your teams. You will not do it right the first time or even the many initial times as your marketing team evolves into being agile. Progress over perfection is the key, and frequency helps in defining progress. Happy holidays!
On the 11th day of sprinting, my coach gave to me 11 harness changes.
Agile processes harness change for the customer's competitive advantage. Utilizing agile processes that welcome changing customer needs allows us as marketers to be innovative, responsive, and customer-centric. The marketing industry can be very volatile, and things are constantly changing. Agile processes allow us as marketers to take in feedback from our internal partners, stakeholders, and customers to create those strategic solutions we need to meet needs and deliver value. See, this principle motivates us to find creative ways to keep our customers close, be innovative and responsive, which positions us to deliver value and operate as the strategic partners we aim to be.
On the 12th day of sprinting, my coach gave to me 12 delighted users.
Agile principle number 1 is like a North Star. It guides us to put customers first by delivering awesome software early and often. It's the GPS for customer satisfaction. But why should we care? Simply because happy customers are like unicorns, rare and magical. Prioritizing their needs means more smiles, repeat business, and less stress. It's a win-win that keeps the good vibes flowing. Now let's talk marketing. Think of it as crafting ads. You wouldn't unveil a jingle only once. Agile principles lets us tweak, refine, and drop marketing magic regularly. It's like creating a jingle that becomes a catchy earworm, not a one-hit wonder. Our marketing mojo stays fresh, and customers groove to our tune. So let's agile our way to marketing stardom.
Happy holidays from all of us here at AgileSherpas.